On the 30th of April 1945, Adolf Hitler committed suicide in his bunker in Berlin. Before this, however, he appointed his successors, Admiral Dönitz as President of Germany and Goebbels as Chancellor of Germany. After Hitler's death, both Göring and Himmler desperately tried to take power of the Third Reich, as it fell apart around them, despite the fact that Hitler had dismissed them both for their treachery. Goebbels had committed suicide after Hitler, and so Dönitz was left as the only legal leader of Germany. 10 days later, under the orders of Dönitz, General Alfred Jody signed for an unconditional surrender for all German forces to the Allies. This was obviously a big thing. The Allies didn't want the news to slowly filter into their countries untempered, so agreed that there would be an official announcement of the German surrender on the 9th of May, and mark that as VE Day. However, Western journalists broke the news early, and so in the Western Allied countries, VE Day was brought forward to the 8th of May. The Soviet Union, surprise surprise, had no such trouble with rogue journalists, which is why VE Day was, and still is to this day, celebrated on the 9th of May in Russia. There's really no easy way to explain VE Day in 1945, because nothing like it had ever really happened before or since, except in the Armistice Day celebrations of World War I. Celebrations were hastily arranged, red, white and blue bunting was freely available, commemorative items were rushed through production, and Winston Churchill got assurances that there was enough beer in the capital to go around. At 3 PM, Churchill made a radio broadcast speech to the nation, and while at the Ministry of Health, he gave a speech from the balcony to the ecstatic crowds below, telling them that this is your victory. Outside Buckingham Palace, people swarmed in to see the royal family, with the King and Queen making 8 appearances on the balcony to wave to the crowds, often appearing with Princess Margaret and the future Queen, Princess Elizabeth, and once appearing with Winston Churchill. During their last wave to the crowds, Princesses Elizabeth and Margaret had been allowed out into the crowds to anonymously celebrate with the people, and were waving with the crowds at their parents. Elizabeth later talked about the VE Day celebrations, saying that it was one of the most memorable nights of her life. The streets were full of crowds singing and dancing, and of course, the pubs stayed open well into the night to accommodate for the celebrations. Now and again, a conga would break out, linking those who were celebrating the end to a long war they didn't want to fight together. From soldiers to sailors, from the common man to the future Queen. But of course, lest we forget, there was a bitter note that echoed throughout the day, as some mourners couldn't bring themselves to take part in the celebration. So many from so many countries had died to protect Britain from Nazi invasion, and despite the celebration, they would not be forgotten. That's it for this week. I didn't want to make this video longer than it needed to be, but I did want to commemorate the 75th anniversary of VE Day somehow. Have a wonderful week, and stay safe.